Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a plum pleasing pleasure to be here this morning on this radio broadcast. And as I like to say, great day, great day, great day. And it is a good day. We thank you for being here with us on the Right Stuff Helps radio broadcast on WMPR 90.1 FM broadcasting out of Jackson, Mississippi. We are the Right Stuff Helps Health and Wellness Center out of Memphis, Tennessee, trying to bring this good information, the right stuff throughout the South, throughout the Delta, all the places where the system is proven that the people are sicker than anywhere else in the country. And mainly we're talking about people of color. So I'm not prejudiced, just if I'm going to be, it's towards my people and the lack of finances, the lack of health, the lack of all the things that are necessary just to live a decent quality of life. And so therefore we bring to you our program that is called The Right Stuff. I like that. Thank God for blessing me with over 41 years, almost 42 years on the planet as a health evangelist. And I like to thank my wife. I always talk about her and her love for me. I know she loves me. I love her, but she loves me. She allowed me to deliver our children at home. And I was going to go another way this morning. She called me and said, hey, listen, you delivered a message, a worldwide message over the weekend. And I think it's a good one. And it has to do with debunking. So that's what I'm going to do. I thank my children for their support and all of those of you out there in the listening audience. Again, I'm Dr. Franco Taylor here with the Right Stuff Helps radio broadcast. We are on the air. And this morning we're going to talk about debunking. What in the world is debunking? There's been a lot of it going on here recently. Facebook, with their fast check situation, has literally stopped or taken down millions of posts. Seriously, posts that had to do with what? Health and wellness, especially the COVID-19 situation. What is debunking? It simply means exposing falseness or hollowness of a myth, an idea, or possibly even a belief. So they're saying that those who are anti-COVID, anti-vaccinations, shouldn't be putting their information up, although they can put information up, whatever they want to say, that you need the vaccines, you need double vaccine, you need boosters, you need whatever. That can be said. And again, I'm not knocking, I'm only showing both sides of the coin. I drank us a little drink this morning. That's my Belage, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But the key is misinformation about COVID. Is it just a one-sided thing? Because I've been taught that there's always two sides to the story. So one side of the story is being taken and dismantled from public view and public hearing, while the other side is allowed to be out full sway. So debunking. I'm going to debunk something this morning, a few little things. I'm going to start with some things that we're familiar with that we don't even think twice about. We're talking about misinformation. Carter G. Woodson wrote a book called The Miseducation of the Negro, how we were not taught the same things. We didn't see the same things in our neighborhoods. We didn't receive the same information that others did. And so therefore we were left out. And then when everybody saw information, our information was usually left out, or it was skewed so that it showed a negative situation as it relates to people of color. So let's do some debunking here today. We're going to talk about food for a minute. Debunking or tearing down what we've been taught about certain foods. For instance, meat. We've been told that you need meat because you need protein. And that's true. We do need protein in our bodies, but should it be animal products? Let's look at why meat might not be the best food of all, okay? First of all, it's undigestible. It's literally impossible for your body to break down the flesh of another animal, simply because the enzymes and the hydrochloric acid in your body are just not strong enough to do that. You don't have the teeth for tearing flesh like animals do, dogs and cats and lions and tigers. They've got these long teeth that rip and tear. Okay. So first of all, they can tear it up, and they have these huge, strong jaws that can crush it up. Okay. You don't have all of that. Your jaws are strong, but not like theirs. And you definitely don't have the teeth to tear. And then their colons, or their digestive tracts, are only just a couple of feet long, whereas yours are 34 feet of small intestine, 7, 8, 9 feet of large intestine, almost 30 odd feet of bowel that the food has to go through. So it takes a long travel. And when this animal product, this dead flesh, goes through your body and sits for that long period of time, what does it do? It rots, it putrefies, it turns into foul matter, bloating and putrefying and passing gas. Are you getting what I'm saying? And then when you have a bowel movement, it smells like little baby dead rats. You know what I'm talking about. That's because flesh is basically undigestible, unpass-throughable. Okay, it doesn't pass through the system the way it's supposed to. Plus, in order to get that 20 to 23% of protein out of an animal's flesh, you get a whole lot more of something else. It's only about 23, 24%, maybe 25% protein. What's the rest? What's the other 75% or so? It is basically cholesterol, poisons, toxins, preservatives. Are you getting what I'm saying? Growth hormones. You got a lot more of that than you do protein. So you have to wade through all of this cholesterol, all these poisons and toxins and cancer-causing materials just to get to the 24% protein. And guess what? You ought to do, well, we'll just leave that be. Bottom line, we're just saying why the animal products are not so, they shouldn't be at the top of your list in selections in order to get your protein. They're objectionable, so to speak. They are also cancer causing. We found that, and many times we've talked about it, research, you can Google it, that animal flesh or eating meat is one of the greatest breeders of cancer and disease, period. That's right. What kind of cancers? Colon cancers, kidney cancers. We're talking about pancreatic cancer. All these cancers that are tearing people up, they're killing people every day. Most of those started with an excess of eating the protein that came from dead animals. So that was meat. And then I have to say this all the time. There was a television program, a cowboy program we used to look at years ago, and it was Maverick, okay? And it was Brett and Bart Maverick. There were two brothers. Bart was the larger fighter. He was the husky, well-built one, right? And he did something. He had a commercial, and they had him out in front of America saying that meat is real food for real people. I tell you this all the time, but it never gets old because he did that for about a year. And going into the second year of his commercial, he had a quintuple bypass. Do you know what a quintuple is? That means that all 5 of his major arteries shut down. He didn't die, but basically he was kind of crippled after that. But all 5 of his arteries shut down. What were his arteries full of? Cholesterol. That's what closed them up. Where does cholesterol come from? Only from eating animals. So we're going to move on. There was a commercial once that used to go, the incredible edible egg. Oh, they were just touting the egg as great food because it had protein in it also, but it had something else. It was loaded with cholesterol. Every egg has over 212 milligrams of cholesterol in it. That is right. That's a lot of cholesterol. That means that 2 to 3 eggs in an omelet is almost 1,000 milligrams of cholesterol, folks. And you're wondering why your blood pressure is up. You're wondering why your A1C is up, because all of that grease, all of that cholesterol is clogging up your arteries, your veins. It's coating your pancreas. It's coating the insulin receptors, so the insulin can't make it in because the receptors are covered with grease. So you find out that grease, cholesterol, is the major problem for 2 of the greatest diseases that we suffer from, okay? We're talking about high blood pressure and diabetes. And they start with a basis of too much cholesterol, clogging up the system. And cholesterol only comes from animals. And now we're talking about eggs. Same. Egg is something else. It is very mucus forming. The eggs, the chickens were also injected with hormones to make them grow, female hormones. And it's found that women that eat lots of eggs are more susceptible to have endometriosis, to have fibroids, to have tumors. Because what are you doing? You're injecting into the body all of this you're eating, into through your mouth into your system. You're putting in flesh that's loaded and saturated with female growth hormones. So women are really affected by this more because they grow tumors and large bodies and large breasts, and they grow all these fibroids and all these little masses and so forth from, in a lot of cases, these hormones that have been injected into the animals to make them grow, and in case of the chicken, to also make it lay a lot of eggs. And then the egg is full of what? It's full of all kinds of poisons and toxins and preservatives, and it's been injected with antibiotics to keep the chickens from having chicken or bird flu or whatever it is. And guess what? That gets into your body, and these antibiotics do what? They literally reduce the efficacy of your immune system. They drive your immune system down. So you're wondering why all these immune systems are down, why so many people are being affected with all these different types of diseases, even the virus that's out there scaring everybody to death now, and it ought to, because it's real. But again, we're finding out that these tumors, these fibroids, all this mucus, all this cholesterol comes from eating eggs. And then there's cheese. Cheese also loaded with cholesterol. It's butter fat, it's milk fat that comes from the animal. It's mucus forming. It causes constipation. You know how cheese is. Cheese sticks together, it stretches like a rubber band. And if you've ever had the leftovers of cheese in a meal, whatever kind of meal it was, mac and cheese, whatever, if it came off the plate into the dishwater, you notice how it comes together, and anything, if it's macaroni, rice, whatever is touching it, sticks to it like glue. Well, guess what it does inside of your body? Sticks like glue. My name is Dr. Franco Taylor. You're here with me on the Right Stuff Helps radio broadcast on WMPR 90.1 FM. This morning, we're talking about debunking. We've been miseducated, folks, and it's the purpose and it's the duty of us here at the Right Stuff Health and Wellness Center. It's our duty to bring you information that's true. The right stuff is what it's all about. You've had the wrong stuff, and it's about time you got the right stuff. So we're looking at food. We're looking at meat, eggs, cheese, and what about milk? Same thing, loaded with butterfat, cholesterol. It causes many allergies. Most people of color do not have the enzyme for breaking down the milk molecule. It's called lactose intolerance. And so we eat it. It tastes good, but it just doesn't work well with our bodies. So we end up with a lot of mucus, so forth, so on. We end up with a lot of allergic reactions, allergies, problems with our breathing apparatus, okay? Just in some cases, it even breaks us out in whelps and things like that in the body. It causes a lot of sinus problems, bedwetting in the youth. They'll be wetting the bed up until, 7, 8, 9 years old in a lot of cases because of drinking this milk. And we also said that milk causes SIDS, and nobody's telling you this. In other words, they'll show you a commercial like they did years ago where the president at that time and all of the Congress people and all the teachers and professors had this white thing on their lip. It was milk. And their commercial went, "Got milk?" Well, I say, if you got milk, you got mucus, you got allergies, you got sinus, you got constipation. Are y'all listening to what I'm saying? Debunking. You get one side, but you don't get the other. One side is able to say and do anything they want to, and the other side is not able to say anything. So sometimes the truth gets knocked down. People would rather hear a dressed up lie than to hear the naked truth. Are you getting what I'm saying? I hope so. Dr. Franco Taylor here with the Right Stuff Health radio program. We're talking about debunking. We're talking about the fact that a lot of things that we've been told are not true. And so this morning, we're debunking. We looked at meat, eggs, cheese, milk. What about sugar? We're told that that sugar is good for you, okay, because your body burns sugar. And so many of us eat sugar. A lot of vegans and vegetarians stop eating meat, but they load up on the cakes and the pies and the cookies and the Krispy Kreme donuts and the Snicker bars, okay, because they got to have something something to crave, okay, something to be addicted to, just like most of us are addicted to meat. But we find that the sugar causes sinus problems. It drives the immune system down to the down, because a teaspoon of sugar destroys white blood cells' ability to destroy bacteria by almost 30%. And 6 teaspoons of sugar will knock your immune system out completely. In other words, you've got a white blood cell that could destroy 10 or 12 bacteria. With 6 teaspoons of sugar in the system, that white blood cell is knocked out, where it can't even destroy 1, maybe 2 bacteria. So your immune system is compromised. It's knocked down by the intake of sugar into the body. How about wine and alcohol? A little wine is good for they say you ought to have a little alcohol is not going to hurt anything. After all, Jesus turned water into wine. We won't go there. I just want you to hear that. But what does wine do? Even a small amounts over a period of time, it literally causes liver disease. It causes lung congestion, congestive heart failure. Are you hearing what I'm saying, folks? It causes brain fog. It eats up the brain cells, and you can't get those cells back, folks. So what am I saying? Wine, alcohol, even small amounts is not good for the body. And then water. They say that you ought to drink water, which is true, but they're saying now that the faucet water is okay, the well water, spring water, even this new alkaline water. But again, all of those waters, because they come from the faucet, are not the best water, because they still have chlorine, fluorine, many other chemicals in it. They still have bacteria in it that can live through the onslaught of the chlorine and the fluorine, these bleaches and these chemicals and so forth. And then you've got the minerals that your body can't use because they are what? They're inorganic. They're dead minerals. Your body is organic. It needs living minerals. So again, we'll talk about it more another time. Those of you interested in water, we'll be glad to talk to you about distilled water, which is the best water. Why? Because it's the water that God gives us. When you do distillation, what you simply do is you take water, and it can be faucet water. It's in a tank. At the bottom of the tank, you've got these elements that heat. And when they heat, the water boils. And what does it do? It evaporates. And when it evaporates, what does it do? It rises up to the top of the tank. And the top of the tank is kind of slanted, okay? And it's cool. So the water hits the top of the tank and it condenses again. It turns back into water, and then it goes down into the adjacent tank. And when it drops this time, what is it? It's pure steam distilled water. There are no minerals in it. There are no bacteria, no poisons, no toxins. All those were left behind when it did what? Evaporated and went up to the top. So no minerals went up, no bacteria, no germs, no nothing went up. And over here, when it fell down, it was pure steam distilled water. Well, let's look at God's ecological cycle. Let's look at God's, the earth and how it works. You've got bodies of water. You've got streams. You've got rivers. You've got lakes. And the sun shines down on these waters. It puts that heat on them. What does the water do? It evaporates. And when it evaporates, what does it do? It rises up. When it rises up, what does it take with it? Nothing. It leaves behind the minerals, the bacteria, the fungus, all that's left behind. It goes up, it hits the clouds. The clouds are cool. And so what does it do? It condenses again, and then it falls as rain. But what kind of rain is it? Steam distilled rain. So even God's water that he gives us in the ecological cycle is what? Is steam distilled. So I say that therefore steam distilled is the best, not the only water, but the best water. Next to that would be purified water. So again, we're just doing a little debunking. All the well water, spring water, alkaline, all those are okay, but they're not the best water. Okay. So now we debunked that just a little bit, but now we want to talk about supplements. We're taking all these supplements, folks, and it's unbelievable I've seen people take 20, 30, 40 supplements every day. I remember when I used to take lots of supplements. They had all these big juicy oil capsules. They had vitamin E and all these different kinds of oils in them, right? That we needed. Okay, and I saw a gentleman once have an operation on his stomach. We thought he was going to die, and they took out a big mass of plastic like this out of his stomach. What was it? Years of he was a bodybuilder. Years of taking all of these plastic, hog fat plastic capsules, and they had actually become a mass and was sticking up his stomach to where his colon literally became blocked, and they were going in to cut out some stomach, and what they found was all this plastic in his stomach. But let's talk about supplements a little bit. Half of America, half of Americans, and over 70% of those over 65 years literally take a multi-mineral vitamin supplement every day. That's almost $12 billion a year in vitamin supplements. But are they really doing anything for us? Well, let's look. Nutrition experts from Johns Hopkins, that's the #1 research hospital and so forth in the world. These people say, these nutritional experts from Johns Hopkins say that your money would be better spent on nutrient-packed whole foods. In other words, they're agreeing with all the major foundations: cancer, heart, liver, what is that other one? What am I trying to say? Get your mind together, Franco. Diabetes, okay, and even Alzheimer's. All these have come together and said that you do better on a plant-based diet because all those diseases would get better. They're finally telling you the truth if you'll listen. So a nutrient-packed whole food diet like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, okay, this is the kind of diet that the nutrition experts, even from Johns Hopkins Hospital, are saying that you need in order to do what? In order to not have to worry about taking all of these synthetic, man-made, artificial ingredients in the multimineral vitamins and so forth, and the tablets that we're taking, okay? It's proven that almost 80% of them, 90% of them are synthetic. They're not real. We're debunking. We're helping you to see that these supplements are really doing you no good. Johns Hopkins researchers, they've done research involving over 450,000 people who were taking multivitamins. They found that these multimineral vitamins did not reduce the risk of heart disease or cancer. Are y'all listening to me? 450,000 people taking these multimineral vitamins to help them not have problems with their heart, to help them not get diseases. Literally, it did nothing at all to stop the onslaught of heart disease and cancer. A study of over 5,947 people, about 6,000 men, that followed them for 12 years, and it wanted to see about the mental functioning that they would have with multivitamin use. So they were using these multimineral vitamins, and it was trying to see what the effect would be on their mental functioning. And what they found out that it did not reduce the mental decline. In other words, the loss of memory or slowed down thinking. None of that happened simply because they were taking these billions of dollars worth of supplements to help their minds. Are you listening to me? And a study of over 1,700 heart attack survivors. These are those who have had one heart attack, okay? They found they were taking these high doses of multivitamins or placebos for 55 months. Now, they've had a heart attack, but they're going to take either the vitamins, the multimineral vitamins, or placebos, which was just a sugar pill, to see if it kept them from having additional heart attacks. And what they found was that the rates of later heart attacks, okay, or heart surgeries and deaths were similar in both categories, both groups. So what am I saying? Again, that taking the multimineral vitamins, those synthetic vitamins which we've been taking, did nothing to slow down the need for surgeries for the heart. It didn't slow down heart attacks. It didn't even slow down the deaths from heart disease. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So actually, they found that vitamin E and beta carotene, these synthetic vitamins, literally appear to be harmful, especially in high doses. Folks, we're debunking. Is it live or is it Memorex? It might look like something good and you think you're doing good, but you're really doing harm to your body. Larry Appel, MD, who is the director of Johns Hopkins Welch Center for Prevention, Epidemiology, and Clinical Research, he a bad boy, okay. He says that instead of taking all these synthetic vitamins, that you would do better to eat a healthy plant-based diet to maintain a healthy weight, to cut down on your saturated fat and your trans fat. That means no animal products for a while. Are you listening to me? Time out. Let me tell you why. Because when it comes to fat, remember that the only place that you find the bad, unhealthy cholesterol is in the flesh of dead animals. That's all the cholesterol that you'll find in the plant-based is the good cholesterol, the healthy cholesterol, the types of fatty acids that the body needs. Are you listening to me? So again, he said you do better with a plant-based diet, keeping your weight where it needs to be, cutting down on the saturated fat, cutting down on the trans fat, cutting down on the sodium, and cutting down on the sugar. Oh, wow. That is powerful stuff, folks. So again, these vitamin mineral supplements, okay, you should be getting natural nutrients that come from where? That come from whole foods versus the synthetic nutrients. That's the whole idea. Natural nutrients are going to come from whole food sources in the diet. And these vitamins, if you're going to take them, they should be whole food, plant-based vitamins because they're containing concentrated, dehydrated whole foods. It's a plant-based supplement. But the synthetic nutrients or the isolated nutrients that are made in those made artificially in industrial processes is what you don't need. You need natural nutrients or natural supplements as opposed to synthetic nutrients that are in these synthetic supplements. Are you getting me? Health conscious consumers choose to avoid artificial, unnatural, and synthetic chemicals, but often unknowingly consume these harmful ingredients in their synthetic multimineral vitamins. So you jump out of the frying pan into the fire. You're running from the lion and you run smack into a bear. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Make sure that your supplements are whole food supplements, like the one that we offer at Right Stuff. We got the right stuff for you. We've got supplements that are made completely from plant-based ingredients, our own ingredients in most cases, and those that have been supplemented with nanotechnology, which means they're so small, they get straight into the system, straight into the bloodstream, straight into the blood-brain barrier, and begin to help the body reverse, recover, and restore itself almost immediately. So, published research in the last 2 years concludes two things, okay, that these synthetic vitamins, basically, which is 80 to 90% of the ones out there, are basically ineffective. They just plain old don't work. What did I say? These multimineral vitamins that you're taking out there, most of them don't work. And they're dangerous to your health. They actually increase the risk of death. They increase the incidences of heart disease and cancer. Folks, you got to read your labels. You can Google, you can give us a call at Right Stuff Health. Our number is 901-425-2273, 901-425-2273. Someone will be back with you within the day. If it's after hours, then they'll be back in touch with you the next day. But we'll get you answers to how to get good supplements. Right Stuff supplements, okay? Supplements that are plant-based, that are actually food, that are actually designed to help your body to do what? Heal itself. We're debunking today. I'm Dr. Franco Taylor. You're here with me on the Right Stuff Helps radio broadcast, WMPR 90.1 FM on your radio dial. And we're talking about debunking. We're looking at things. And, the system is saying, again, we started by talking about them tearing down all these posts on Facebook that had to do with other things you could do instead of taking the vaccine. But there are a couple of websites out there that are governmental websites. If you read them, they always say if you want to hide good things from someone, just put it in a book. That's what they said about people of color. But I believe most of you are reading nowadays. But one of these websites simply says, vaccines, who should avoid them and why? And some of the reasons they give is that the different vaccines have different components, okay? Each vaccine can affect you differently, because remember now, you had the Wuhan strain of virus, you had the Swiss, the Chinese, the California, the Italian, okay? And now you've got the Delta, which is the most evolved variant of all. But each one has, so you need a vaccine, a different vaccine for each one. All I'm saying is you need to be careful and know what it is that you're doing. And here it also says that those who have compromised immune systems might hold back, okay? If your immune system is down, these are typically advised to wait. Nobody's talking about that. You're getting one side of the coin, you're not getting the other. You're told, get the vaccine, get the double vaccine, get the booster. I'm just giving you facts here. But there are also those on the other side, they're saying if your immune system is compromised, if you have predisposed diseases already, you might need to wait. So who has a compromised immune system? Almost everyone. So if you look at that side of the coin, they're saying all of you should wait. Oh, you're not getting this. You should wait. You should hold back a little bit. The advice is to hold on. If you've experienced allergic reactions to a particular vaccine and or its components, you're told to avoid follow-up doses. That's out there. That's what they're telling you. The experts are telling you. If you're listening with your ears, folks, eyes wide shut. You're looking right at it and you can't see the forest for the trees. I'm only saying, wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. Time for forward thinking. Time for looking ahead. In other words, you can't do any more of that backward thinking. You got to open your eyes. You got to think for yourself, and you got to read between the lines. So again, there are articles out there. There are websites out there. Another one says, why COVID-19 vaccination requirements can exclude some who can't get the vaccine. There are actually those. There are people who, and I think this came from the Center for Disability Rights. In other words, there are people who have different types of disabilities who cannot take a vaccine, okay? And they've got to be able to do something. What are we saying? We're saying if you've got a compromised immune system, even the system is telling you to be careful, okay? It's telling you to be careful. Cuomo is saying, and he's got government agencies and so forth, schools and all that, demanding that you show proof of your vaccine. But on the other side, you've got them telling you that if you can't take the vaccine, you need to wait, okay? No matter what the businesses are saying you got to do, you need to wait. So what are you going to do? You're going to do something that most folks are not seeing. The fact that they're telling you, and we're coming down to the end of this session today, but the fact that they're telling you that you need the vaccine to do what? To help your immune system to work better. What are they saying? They're saying the ultimate prevention and the ultimate solution to those who get COVID is your immune system. Y'all ain't listening to it. Y'all not hearing what they're saying. They're admitting that it's your immune system that's going to destroy COVID. It's your immune system that's going to prevent you from getting COVID. We're talking common sense. We're debunking, you got to go get the vaccine. We're debunking that, and we're looking at what does the vaccine do? Supposedly, it does what? Well, actually, you're injecting into your body the virus itself or an encoded synthetic version of the virus, because now your body is going to make the spike protein. It's going to you're actually making your copy machine. You're making virus, and that's going to trigger the other side of your body, your immune system, to make antigens, to make antibodies to go and do what? Knock out this virus. So now you got this battle inside that you put in there. You injected that in. You were running from COVID and ran smack into it. I don't know if y'all hear what I'm saying. These are facts. This is the truth. Are you listening? Are you listening? So what can you do? Well, if the purpose of the vaccine is synthetically going to make this organic body that God gave you work better, then what did God say would make it work better? When he created you in the beginning, man was supposed to live forever. He gave him, the first thing he gave him was fruits, nuts, grains, and vegetables. And how were they eaten? In a live state. There were no George Foreman grills, and there were no microwave ovens in the Garden of Eden. So what am I saying to you? You need good foods, whole foods. You got to eat a plant-based diet for at least 30 days. Eat a plant-based diet, all the fruits, vegetables, nuts, and grains in an uncooked state as you can get. And we're going to have our cooking school online pretty soon and in person, the V-Scan, which is called the Vegan School of Culinary Arts and Nutrition. It's on the way. You can call us and ask us about it. You can call and pre-register. It's going to be happening in the next 3 to 4 weeks. So please get involved. We'll teach you how to make breakfast, lunch, dinner, how to make caramel cake without white sugar and eggs. That's so delicious, it'll make you bite your fingers. We'll show you all that, from hot tamales to Philly cheesesteak. No animal, but delicious. I call it delumlicious. That's right. Nutritious, but still delicious. That's coming up. That's what you've got to learn how to do. We'll have recipes for you, all that, so you can learn how to eat a diet that's delicious and still nutritious. But the key is here, you have a choice of what you can do. What is it that you need to do? Build up your immune system. You don't need artificial measures to build it up if you don't want them. But if you're not going to eat better, if you're not going to take whole food supplements, then you need a vaccine. I'm just going to tell you, you got to do something to get your body to work right like it's supposed to. Why not take the line of least resistance? Why not give your body what God told you to give it, to build it to where it can do what it's supposed to do? Again, I talk often about those two men that received the Nobel Prize in immunology. We're about to close this out. But the bottom line was Ilya Ilyich Mednikov received the Nobel Prize in 1938 on immunology. In 1968, Dr. Frank McFarlane Burnett received the same Nobel Prize in immunology. That meant they did what? All their research for all their lives almost was on the immune system, how it worked. And this is what they agreed to. They agreed on this, that everyone's body, yours, all of your bodies will potentially make thousands of cancerous and virus cells. These cells can become cancerous and viral in your body if the immune system is what? Not strong. Because they found that if the immune system was strong, it would destroy all of those thousands of potentially cancerous and virus cells, fungus, all that parasites. It would drive them out if it was strong. They would come at you because they're out here in the environment. They're out here in the world. But your immune system sitting, waiting on them, literally knows how to be ready for whatever's coming. It doesn't matter how many diseases and sicknesses we've had through life. Our body gets stronger and stronger as the viruses or the funguses or the germs and so forth, bacteria, as they evolve and get stronger, our immune system evolves and gets stronger if you're giving it the fruits, the nuts, the grains, the vegetables that it needs, and in some cases, even the plant-based supplements. You have a choice. So what are the plant-based substances? We have our Clean Sweep Colon Broom that we talk to you about often. You need to get this to start. Any program, health program, diet program, starts with cleaning out the waste. Our Clean Sweep Colon Broom was designed with the fibers that are needed to clean out, to broom the body. It's a clean sweep colon broom, okay? And then it has anise, fennel, and ginger to make sure that you don't have all the bloop, bloop, the bloating and the groping and the flatulence and so forth. It's got we've got licorice root in there to give you a natural cortisone to kind of soothe the discomforts when you don't go to the bathroom the way you should. So it literally tones and reboots the whole colon while it's helping you to have good bulky bowel movements every day. And then we have our Sankey products especially our Belage, and you can call us and ask us about it. This one has white paper proven to destroy. Oh, listen to me, folks. This product took 40 years in research and development. Another 10 years it's been available overseas. And for the last year and a half, it's been available in the United States. So what am I saying? This product is 50 years in research and development to literally help the body to do what? Help the body literally reboot and rebuild itself. So you do have some choices. And then there's one other thing I wanted to end with. There was a letter, okay? And the letter basically talked about what you could do. And for many, many years, I've been blessed to not have to deal with vaccines and so forth once I learned the truth 41 years ago. I have children who never got shots. They never got shots, and they never had mumps, measles, chickenpox, rubella, but they didn't have the shots either. So what am I saying? Case in proof. No one can arrest me because I didn't give my children the shots, but I can tell you they never had mumps, measles, chickenpox, rubella, flu. They never had any of that, and they never had the vaccines. Oh, I don't know if y'all are getting what I'm saying. So again, there is something that you can do. I'm going to read something to you. God blessed us to design. If you're interested, you can call us. And it's basically a letter of exemption. And it says this: your name would go there, am presenting my personal typed and signed statement detailing my religious basis for my objection to vaccines. Okay, all vaccines, any required vaccine. Hereby, I assert my right to a religious exemption from vaccination. Being a Christian who believes in the whole Bible, this encompasses my Christian worldwide view in the following. I recognize the faith and conscience compel me to submit the proper jurisdiction within God's divine rule of law. It is said in Acts 5:29, we ought to obey God rather than man. And then it goes on to talk about the fact that you shouldn't put you shouldn't defile this temple that God has given to you, and that you should put no unclean thing into it. But when you look at it based on, you can Google it, you can look at it anywhere and see that research even tells us that basically tells us that what? That our bodies are, we shouldn't put things in them that are not right. So bottom line, you can call us and ask us about that. But we just wanted to say to you, in debunking what's going on out there, you all need to realize that you can do something for yourself. You can eat better. You can drink better. You can get your exercise. All the natural things that it takes to rebuild your immune system. And you can take all natural plant-based supplements. Those are the kind that we have at Right Stuff Health. Okay, give us a call, 901-425-2273. 901-425-2273. That's the end of that part of our program. So, but we want to do something. Again, this is Dr. Franco Taylor. You're here with me on the Right Stuff Helps radio broadcast, WMPR 90.1 FM on your radio broadcast, on your radio dial, broadcasting out of Jackson, Mississippi. But I want to go back to what we were talking about. This is another portion I just want to talk about for a few moments. Food. There's something about the food that we really don't pay a lot of attention to. What can you do instead of eating all the animal products? Well, you can go to the Whole Foods store or to Kroger or your major stores, and they have natural sections where they've taken grains, they've taken vegetables, and they've made your chicken substitutes. They've made your lunch meat substitutes. They've made barbecue. They've made burgers. In other words, you can have all the meat you love to eat made from oats and soy and wheat. Okay, so you can still have it. They even have egg substitutes. They've got soy, almond, rice cheese that tastes pretty good. It even melts. Okay, they've got almond milk, soy milk, rice milk, oat milk. You list cashew milk. So they can be replaced. Instead of sugar, you've got honey, you've got maple syrup. You have all those things, okay? So what are we saying? Sorry about that. My assistant's not here with me. So I've got it all. Okay. Hopefully they'll leave a message and we'll be able to get back to them. Oh, they're very, very persistent, are they not? Okay. But again, replacing these no-nos with good things is what it's all about. Instead of sugar, you can have honey. You can have maple syrup. You can use old-fashioned blackstrap molasses. You can use stevia. Are you listening to me? Instead of white sugar, because white sugar just basically destroys the body. Okay. And like I said, we've got these callers calling in. I can't be in two places at once, but we will call them back after the program. But the bottom line is sugar is a no-no. What about enriched flour? These even the gluten-free flour. These flours have no nutrients in them. Yes, they may keep you from having an allergic reaction, but the key is there's no nutrients in them. Google it, look it up. Absolutely no nutrients. And these flours that have no protein, have nothing natural in them, no bran, no nothing, guess what? They become paste in your body. The old folks used to take these enriched white flours that were back then called enriched and devitamized, but they were called enriched, which sounded like they were making them healthy. But in reality, it meant they had stripped all the good stuff out of the wheat germ, the wheat bran. All the good stuff was gone. There was nothing left except for this silky endosperm, which was then bleached even more and turned into a silky talcum powder like. But when the old folks would take this enriched flour, mix it with water, and they could put wallpaper up on the wall. Y'all aren't getting this. This water, this flour mixed with water turned into a paste that would actually put wallpaper up on the walls. And you couldn't get the wallpaper off if it was the wrong color. You'd have to tear the wall down to get the paper. Are you getting what I'm saying? So what does it do in your stomach when you're eating these types of gluten-free, enriched flours, and then you drink your water, your tea, your coffee, or whatever with it? What does it become in your stomach? It becomes paste. Are you listening to me? It becomes paste, and it pastes up your whole system. So you want to be careful of that. How about soda? Folks say, it's okay to drink some sodas. Well, what is it in soda that's so objectionable? Well, one thing we know is lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of sugar. Folks gain weight drinking sodas. They get fat and obese drinking these big belly washer sodas, okay? So folks, be careful of the sodas. And there's something else in the soda that you need to watch out for. The soda does something. It has in it what makes it bubble. What makes it bubble? And you're drinking a soda, you turn it up and you're drinking it, and then you're bloating and you're burping, and all that gas is coming up. And sometimes it'll hurt your chest trying to burp it back up, eyes running and all that. Then you go, that sure was good. But why is it causing you all that disturbance? Could it be simply because that carbon that you have in there is not just carbon, it's carbon dioxide. That means that it was not designed to be in there. You breathe in oxygen and you breathe out carbon dioxide. So they've taken the carbon dioxide gas, which is toxic, noxious poison to your body. That's why your body breathes it out and you take in fresh oxygen. So now they've taken what you breathe out, put it back in your body. So when it goes down, your body is trying to push it back up. I don't know if you get it. As fast as you can drink it, boy, your body is trying to push it back up because it doesn't belong there. And so you're hurting your chest. Like I say, your eyes are running, you're almost choking, and then you're saying, this is good. So you're drinking death and talking about how good it is. I don't know if y'all hear what I'm saying, but the carbon dioxide is a deadly poison in your system. So between the sugar and the poison, you need to look at what you're doing when you're drinking all these sodas. Okay. How about chocolate? Chocolata. Oh, we love the chocolate. But what we don't realize that these chocolates, although they're sold, Dunstals and all the big boys, Hershey's and all of them, they're sold in America, but they're made over in places like Guatemala, Portugal, all in poor, underdeveloped countries, because they're getting their labor for almost free, for pennies on the dollar. Are you listening to what I'm saying? But these manufacturing plants don't have the same inspection situations and qualifications that we have in America. So over there, you've got a certain amount of excreta, which is rat and bird and bat doo-doo, okay, and insect parts, okay, insect hairs, rat hairs and so forth. They allow a certain amount of this into the chocolate because they can't stop it. The buildings have holes in the roof. You got all these animals and so forth all in here, moths and so forth, that fall down into the chocolate. And the inspectors allow up to a certain percentage of it in there. So that means that, for every couple of gallons of chocolate, you can have a cup full of rat hairs, excrement, that's rat doo-doo, insect parts, and they have to allow it to go through because they can't stop. Are y'all getting what I'm saying? Oh boy, it looks good. It melts in your mouth, but it's full of rat parts, rat doo-doo, animal parts, insect wings, and all that's in the chocolate. I'm trying to get you to understand some stuff. Debunking. You think all this stuff is good for you. They tell you that chocolate's good for your heart and all that. What about the doo-doo and the bat excrement and the insect wings and the parts of animals? Is all that good for you too? I hope y'all are listening to me. I hope y'all are hearing. This is Dr. Franco Taylor. We're talking about debunking, again, what's going on in our systems. And again, instead of, we talked about in the first half of our show, instead of these synthetic vitamins that you're taking, make sure that your vitamins, read your labels, make sure that they're plant-based, make sure that they're organic, make sure that the capsules are vegan, vegetarian capsules. That means they're made from plant cellulose and not from animals, not from horses' hooves. Once upon a time, they made them out of hog fat, okay? Hog fat and plastic. But now they've graduated to using horses' hooves and so forth to make these horses' hooves in plastic. So again, make sure that you read your labels and you're getting plant-based foods, plant-based supplements so that your body can do what it needs to do. It can use them in healing itself, use it in energizing itself, use it to help get the cholesterol out of the arteries, because you're going to adapt a plant-based diet, which is basically cholesterol free. It only has the natural cholesterol. These are things you can do for yourself. Again, you can give us a call at 901-425-2273, 901-425-2273, or you can visit us at our website, which is www.rightstuffhealthsystems.com. That's rightstuffhealthsystems.com. Or you can contact me at info@rightstuffhealth.com, info@rightstuffhealth.com, and let us help you with the dietary questions that you might have. If you'd like a consultation, we'd be glad to have a consultation with you. But Dr. Franco, I'm in Houston, Texas, okay? We'll have a Zoom session on the phone. It'll be just like we're doing now. I can see you, you can see me, and you can look at all my books, okay? You can look at all my props. I can show you all the food that we have on the shelves to replace. We take out the no-nos and we put in the yay-yays. So you still basically eat. You can still have your macaroni, would look like macaroni and cheese. You can still have your foods, just not the ones that are objectionable to your body. They cause sickness and disease. We need to debunk, folks. We need to look at what we're doing, and the things that are not good for us, you need to get them out the way. You know, somebody once said that you should do everything in excess. I'm sorry, everything in moderation and nothing in excess. And we thought that was a pretty good rule. Doesn't it sound good? It does, doesn't it? No, it's not good. If I can do everything in moderation, that means I can have me a little wine. I can dip me a little bit of snuff if I want to, honey. You know what I'm talking about? You know, I can even have me a little bit of adultery on the side as long as I don't get caught. No, 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 no. God says if it's bad for you, you don't do it at all. And if it's good for you, you do that in moderation, because even good things can be overdone. You know, we know that sex in the marriage bed has God's hand of approval on it. But some individuals, male or female, can be oversexed and they can destroy a marriage with something that's actually a good thing that God gave for husband and wife. But if you hear what I'm saying, you can overdo even a good thing. So again, we want to look at what we believe. We want to make sure that we're not being deceived in our lifestyles. And so you got to read, you got to listen carefully, you got to double check it. And you all have the ability to Google now. Man, you can read up on it or you can Google it, and you can find out about anything. So look at it. Basically, we're talking debunking as it relates to your food, as it relates to all the things that go in your body, as it relates to even your supplements. All of these, basically, if you want them to work, they need to be plant-based. They need to be whole foods and whole food supplements. Okay? So again, I'm Dr. Franco Taylor. You're here with me on the Right Stuff Helps radio broadcast, WMPR 90.1 FM on your radio dial, coming out of Jackson, Mississippi. I am going to be coming to Jackson, Mississippi pretty soon, folks. And not too long from now, we'll be down there. And again, there's a pharmacy in Jackson that we're going to be working with, and prayerfully, all of the supplements that we have, to keep from having to order them online, you can actually just drive over to one side of Jackson and get these. So we'll be talking to you about that relatively soon. Again, we're talking about debunking. We're looking at the fact that you have to choose to be healthy. Health is not a chance, it's a choice. Are you listening to me? Health is not a chance, it's a choice. Call us up, 901-425-2273, and ask us about the Clean Sweep colon broom, how you can get yours today, how you can clean out that colon, have 2 to 3 good bulky bowel movements a day, not have to worry about all that wiping, because the fiber will cause those bowels to move nice, thorough, but at the same time clean and neat. Are you listening to me? What a way to go. Okay, what a way to go. And also you get to talk to it. We'll talk to you about the Belage, which is a product formula that is basically formulated. It took 40 years research and development. It has white paper. All of our formulas have manuals to prove that they are what they say they are. They have in them what they say they have in them. But this one has white paper. White paper simply means that they did in vitro trials, and they showed that these are individuals who volunteered for these studies. They literally showed that the ingredients inside of this formula, okay, the rosmarinic acid that comes from the rosemary plant, the allopurinol that comes from the olive plant, the green tea has antimicrobial, antibacterial, has so many different things to help the body heal itself that it's unbelievable. And this is factual. And they showed in these tests that up to 60, 70% improvement on the immune system's ability to stop and inhibit the growth of all viruses. That was influenza A, influenza B, that was gastroenteritis, and SARS. And remember now, SARS with this acute respiratory syndrome situation, which is the way that colds and pneumonia and viruses attack you. This formula went into the body and assisted the immune system in building, okay? It helped the immune system to build. It helped it to make those antibodies, those antigens, okay, to the point where it actually got rid of even the viruses, okay? Proven. White paper, proven. Give me a call, Dr. Franco Taylor. You can call me at 901-425-2273. Find out how you can get your Clean Sweep colon broom and your Belage today. And then we've got Inner 7, all minerals. We've got Cronui that works with your heart. In other words, it's going to help to make sure that those caramelized fats and sugars are literally broken down at night while you're asleep. What am I saying? While you're asleep, your body will break down those fats, those sugars. They won't be dumped into the immune system. So you wake up in the morning with your sugar level down, your blood pressure down, and your belly going down, your waistline going in, because those fats don't make it into the system. Instead, they're burned up, turned into immediate energy, and then the rest is taken out of the system, not into the bloodstream. So again, as opposed to your sugar going up and your blood pressure going up, they come down at night while you're asleep. And it helps you to have a great night's sleep. This is Dr. Franco Taylor saying, I love you. Till next week, same time, same station. We pray that you use the right stuff. God bless.